Lore, something so unknown among the player base, yet so important. As I've seen, it doesn't come off as positive in the community, which I don't get honestly, but that's not what I'm gonna talk about in this video. What I am gonna talk about is how will strains affect the Isle. In the Isle, strains are a planned feature that turns normal dinosaurs into mutated, much more powerful versions with unique abilities. They are far from being added to the game as we know at the moment, but they're meant to feel very different from the regular dino gameplay we have. Almost like unnatural or experimental creatures rather than just stronger dinosaurs. There are three main types of dino strains in the game, and they can be seen as counterparts to each other, because each one represents a different part of our body functions. The first is the hyperendocrine strain, often called hypers. These strains represent raw physical power, muscle mass, strength, and metabolic drive. It is essentially the body pushed to its absolute limits. However, it is also driven by primal instinct. It must constantly eat to survive. If it fails to maintain that intake, it will quickly die. So as you see here, it has thick armor and tusks. And this is the Vrima version of our Hyper Rex, which looks super cool. The one you saw before is old legacy stuff. The second one is the neurotenic strain, or how you pronounce that. Unlike the hyperendocrine strain, it does not rely on strength. Instead, it is focused on the brain and nervous system. It uses mental abilities like sound mimicry and other effects that can confuse or manipulate other players. It is more about intelligence and control, but is weaker in direct fights. There is even a theory that it can do EMPs, which is easily said to be an electromagnetic pulse. Or maybe it isn't a theory rather than what it will be able to do. But don't quote me. The third is the tissoplastic strain, which can be seen here with its unique appearance and spiky-like armor. It may have the ability to generate missing tissues and organs, helping to repair damage, which is sick. Think of it in this way: you've been fighting a lot and you're hurt, but you can just generate health fast as hell and keep going. In a way, it fills in what other strains lack: balance. So if you look at all three together, they each represent a different role. The tissoplastic strain focuses on generation and maintaining tissues and organs. The neurotenic strain controls the brain and nervous system, and the hyperendocrine strain provides strength, muscle mass and metabolism. Overall, strains are not balanced creatures. Each one is extreme in one area, but lacking in others, which makes them quite interesting and different from normal dinosaurs in the game. But how may they be unlocked? My theory, this is my theory so don't quote me, that you have to entomb your dinosaur to the max and reach Prime Elder. Then once you're old enough and can entomb with your maxed out dinosaur, you have the option to whether entomb regularly or choose to evolve into something terrifying. And it all depends on your mutation choices as well, if your dinosaur is more fit for that strain. But strains might just come to certain dinosaurs. Cause, let's be real here, strains is something that will be very rare to achieve, and if every dino had that, you'd see hyperhipsis everywhere, spitting vomit made of acid. No, but you guys get the point, right? Strains should be so rare that you might not know they exist, until the point where a tissoplastic Rex suddenly ambushes you, or you hear them broadcasting or something. It should be a unique, scary experience, like you're actually playing a horror game and not a dino survival game. Once a strain is on the island, you move away, you hide. It's nothing you want to fight against. Unless you're a soulless PvP player, I guess, or become the frail elder and decide you want to die. So how will strains affect the Isle? Ultimately, strains are not meant to fit into the ecosystem. They're designed to disrupt it. When one appears, the game shifts from standard survival into something closer to survival horror, where the players must adapt, avoid or endure, rather than fight on equal terms. It's something that should be very hard to unlock. So that's kind of why I'm excited for strains, even if it's far in the future, or lore in general is something I'm looking forward to get fully implemented into the game. Also, if some cool lore people are watching this, I didn't want to dig deep into the lore, instead cover a simple video on what strains are and what they'll do on the Isle. So that's that. Hope you enjoyed my short video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.